What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to talk about Bon. And Bon is a very, very cool character from the Seven Deadly Sins. Originally, I thought this guy was a villain before I actually watched the anime, which is hilarious. Whenever you watch the anime, you find out, no, this guy's got a heart of gold. He's pretty freaking awesome character. And when you take a look at Bon, he's got a pretty decent kit. You know, he does have the increased target damage received by 20% for 7 seconds upon landing a skill, and he's got the 100% chance to ignore the target's gone upon landing a successful skill. And this is actually a very good skill because it's a very, very long range skill. So if they don't have super armor or hyper armor up and you hit them with this, you're going to immediately break their guard, interrupt them skills, and then go into your other skills. And it actually works really well for him because his second skill is actually a very nice long range attack that gives him super armor and decreases damage received by 85%, which is pretty massive for an attack type fighter. This really increases his survivability. I wish it was for 4 seconds, and I know it's only 1 second, but believe me, 1 second would make a big difference. But still, 85% is pretty massive, and I was really happy that they changed this. Originally, this was a decreased damage received by 50%, which just wasn't good enough. I was actually very concerned about his survivability originally from the Korean live stream. But man, when they buffed him up and gave him this decreased damage received by 85%, that really made him a lot better. And then, of course, it's an interrupt skill on top of that, which is awesome. And then the third skill gives him a 70% chance to reset the cooldowns upon successful attack, and inflicts 30% of attack as bleed damage to the target every 1 second. This is another thing they changed from the original Korean live stream, is he didn't have any kind of dot effect, and then they applied this. So he's got a lot of damage, a lot of power because of this. We all know that dot damage in this game is very, very powerful. And then you look at his core effects. He's got this 12% strike skill attack damage increase. This is really very good for him. The HP increase is really good for him to help his survivability. The 15% PG rate is good. I wish it was like 20 or 25%. Well, really 30% in all honesty. Because I find that his PG doesn't gain quite as fast as what you'd really like it to. And that's because you can't really cancel his skills as fast. You got to let his skills play out a little bit. And that's kind of a crux of the character. He does have a 40% stun duration decrease. So if you have the Yashiro card on him, he'll have a 90%, well, actually an 89% stun duration decrease, which means when he's facing characters that stun, he's pretty much going to be almost immune to stun as long as he has that card on him. And then he becomes immune to damage and resets active skill cooldown for 6 seconds when HP is 30% or less, which is pretty nice. I'm glad to see that, you know, when HP is 30% or less, that's going to give him a big opportunity to come back. I mean, 6 seconds of immunity is nice, and then having an interrupt skill, that's pretty freaking awesome. Long range attacks, this is actually very powerful for him. And then you got the PvP exclusive, which increases attack by 35% for 5 seconds and removes the target's attack increase effect upon landing an active skill. So say your characters you're facing have attack bonuses and you hit the attack buffs and you hit them, then you're going to remove their attack buffs, in turn weakening them. And this is pretty cool for Bon because in the anime, he actually can absorb opponents' powers and that or absorb their strength. And this is actually kind of reminiscent of that. And I really like that they did that. And then, of course, the same old Seven Deadly Sins core effect. And, you know, I do have his Infinity at 10. I do have his cores completely unlocked. I actually have the Yantama set on him, because this actually does increase the bleed damage by 75% and active skill damage by 20%. Really good card set for him. Really not the best. I mean, in all honesty, more than likely you're going to run with a best set. I mean, if you use the Akane set, that's going to have a lot of extra damage, especially for like in-game PvE content, because you'll get the immunity when your HP gets below 30%, but then you'll also get another immunity when your HP gets down to 1%, really helping his survivability, something fierce. And then, of course, I got his 3 PG guard from the Fest Fighter Selector that I got going to Pity. And this is a pretty cool looking 3 PG. So if we go into Championship, so we can take a look at his skills. And again, I really wish that the card thing wasn't going on. I wish the card's effect would work, at least for this kind of testing. But look at how long this range is. This attack ignores their guard. I am about 5 or 6 character distances away. Boom, look at that. That is far. Now, it is a little bit telegraphed. You do see it kind of coming, so you could dodge this attack. I mean, you see him kind of swing his arm back, but it's not, I mean, it's fairly quick. It's fairly quick, but someone with a good eye might spot it. Now, the second skill, if you are able to ignore their guard and increase the damage by 20% from the first skill, if you're a little bit closer, say you're within 5 character distances, the second skill will actually reach to him. Now, that wasn't quite close enough. Maybe we need to be about 4, I'd say 4 to 5 character distances, somewhere in there, for the second skill to actually reach him. There we go. And that skill you can't cancel immediately. And then you have the third skill, which is actually a short range attack. So you got to be fairly close for this skill, but it does do a nice jab at the end where he hits him and then applies that bleed, which is really, really great. However, if you don't have your super armor up or some kind of super armor up, then they can just interrupt that skill before they attack you. So you got to be careful of that. You guys, 3 PG here, which looks fantastic. Freaking love it. Boof. Nice. So really, ideally, what you're trying to do is you want to try to hit the first skill to apply that extra 20% attack. And if from a range, this is actually really good. Because even if they have their super armor up, you'll still apply the increased attack by 20%. So you hit that, go into your second skill. And all of these skills are OTGs. And the third skill can actually has a 70% chance to reset itself. But look how long it takes to build up your PG. And that's kind of the thing that's the crux about this character. So we're going to wait for his skills to reset. And we're going to show just how fast we can cancel these skills. So you got the first skill, the second skill. And I'm tapping the third skill. And it took a little bit for the third skill to kick in. So it takes a little bit. The second skill you just can't cancel immediately. So if we try hitting the third skill, see if we can cancel the third skill immediately. Not quite. The third skill's got to play a little bit, but you can cancel it. And that's kind of the thing that's bad about them is you can't cancel your skills immediately, and the PG gain just isn't really what it should be. That's kind of the crux of this character. So if we go into Infinite Battle, and let me see here. Let's go ahead and put Bond in there. We're going to go ahead and try to do a little something with Bond. So I can find him here. There he is. And he's going to get buffed up by Rugao's leadership, that 45% increase of all attack. And we're going to try to do a clear with old Bond. Now, keep in mind, he has no imprint stones. He's just level 10. We're just going to see what kind of damage this guy can do against these characters.
9, 8,
Here we go. Here we go.
6, 5, 4, 3.
And I haven't played with Bond that much, to be perfectly honest, so I might get destroyed here. We'll see. I'm going to try to use that first skill to try to break their guard.
Round 1. Ready, go.
Wow. So that was a level 40 defensive character, Lady Chang, that he just murdered. He just murdered her.
Ready, go.
Wow, wow, wow. Level 39 geese. Boom. I know that Infinite Battle isn't some massive gauge, but you gotta admit the amount of damage that this guy can do is crazy. Let's see how much damage this thing does. And that last little hit that he does an insane amount of damage. Oh yeah, and boom! Damn, Bond destroyed this thing. He actually did better than what I actually anticipated. Holy crap. Dude's got some serious damage, so I don't know. I mean, even though his PG gain isn't really what I would want it to be, and you can always modify PG gain with stones. You can always, like, when you get his third 7 Deadly Sin stone and put that on him, you'll get that extra PG gain. And then if you actually put a Sinner stone on him, you would get an extra 8% PG gain. Then, of course, they got the other stones that offer 10% extra PG gain if you're willing to buy them through the KOF Pass or through the shop. But, man, so, I mean, and that's the thing about him. You know, his PG gain is just a little bit slow. I wish it was a little bit faster. But, God almighty, this dude has got some serious freaking damage. Holy crap. Insane freaking power. So let's go into Epic Quest here. And let's go against Orochi here. Now I'm not going to try to get this clear. Let's put him in the leadership. And Bond actually does have a really good leadership. Increase to 45% of all attack. And then we're going to use Merlin because Merlin actually gives him a nice... Whoops. Merlin actually gives him a nice increased attack by 10% of HP, 7% or more, and then decreases damage received by 4% and gives him a decreased skill cooldown also, which is pretty awesome. And even though he doesn't have immunity until he gets below 30% HP, he still has pretty good survivability because of the decreased damage received by 85%. I'm really, really happy that they changed that. Now watch this. Oh man, we missed the second skill. There we go. Hit that 3 PG. And remember, I can bring in Merlin to get a little bit of a decreased damage received. But really, I could just bring in a heal. Okay, so we're just going to hit our second skill. There we go. Decreased damage received by 85%. And you see the damage we took. I tried dodging. Okay. So not the greatest gameplay. You know, I'm not real too familiar with playing with Bond. But he is murdering Orochi right now. And yes, I do have some high buffs, but again, this is just a level 10 awakened character. Wow. You run. And that ignore guard is so nice. Let's go. I mean, look at him, guys. He can definitely murder this thing. Guaranteed. So he's going to be a real benefit to a lot of players out there. And keep in mind also right now, Orochi is decreasing damage received from him because he's an attack type. Right now, we really want to have balanced type fighters. Okay, and there's a little bug actually in. Yeah, there's a little bug in here. It's pretty crazy. Where the sacred treasure, the stone, actually stays there and Orochi won't go into his PG skills. It's kind of wacky. Oh, I don't think so, buddy. And I'm just face tanking the crap out of this guy. Okay, I'm just waiting, I'm waiting. Oh crap. I didn't realize he was going to do that. See, and this is what I mean about that bug. Normally, it doesn't work out this way. Woo! He went after the stone instead of Orochi. Boom. So, wow. Pretty much murdered that on his own. Not bad. Never had to switch. Never had to do anything like that. Dude's got a lot of power. Wow. And I actually wonder if he's leveled up, how well he's going to do against, Spider Robot. And again, because of the PG gain, I mean, there's always PG strikers you can use too. I mean, in all honesty, you got Billy that gives that 20% PG rate. That would probably make a big difference, if you're using him in certain game modes, you'd want to have that extra PG gain. Because I think that's really where he's lacking. The fact that you can't cancel his skills immediately, and he's lacking a little PG gain. But all in all, I think Bond's pretty freaking awesome. This dude's got a serious amount of damage. I mean, he just murders. I mean, the fact that he went in infinite battle like that, and I'm not even used to playing this character, and he plowed through it like he did. The fact that he took on Orochi, and even with my buffs, and destroyed him just at Awaken level 10. even with crappy gameplay, was pretty amazing if you ask me. So let me know what y'all thinking about Bond. And as always, let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten. And I stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.